The first time I saw her, she was mopping the floor of a 24-hour diner on the edge of New Houston. It was raining outside, acid drizzle that shimmered neon under the city's holographic billboards. The kind of rain that made everything look fake. Manufactured. Controlled. She didn't look fake. She looked wrong. Not ugly. Not strange. Just wrong. Her movements were too precise. Too graceful for someone who claimed to be exhausted after a 12-hour shift. When the door chimed open and 3 drunk cargo haulers stumbled in, she didn't flinch, but her eyes flicked to each of them in a fraction of a second, analyzing threat vectors the way a trained soldier would. I should know. I used to be one. Her name, according to her badge, was Mira. And she was hiding something. New Houston was a refugee magnet. Ever since the Galactic Accord fractured 5 years ago, alien species blended into human cities under forged documents and cheap disguises. Some came to escape war. Others came to disappear. But Mira didn't act like someone running. She acted like someone waiting. The first real sign came 3 weeks later. A fight broke out outside the diner. 2 men arguing over illegal plasma cartridges. I stepped outside when I heard shouting. One of them pulled a weapon. It fired, and Mira, who had followed us out, moved faster than the muzzle flash. I swear to God, she moved before the trigger was fully pulled. She stepped between them, and the blast hit her square in the chest. There was light, then silence. When the smoke cleared, she was still standing. Her uniform was burned away where the shot landed, but beneath it wasn't flesh. It was armor, not human-made. White gold plating shimmered across her skin before fading like liquid light, disappearing into nothing. The shooter dropped his weapon.
Mira looked at me.
And for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. "Please," she whispered. "Don't tell anyone." That was the moment I knew. She wasn't the refugee. She was royalty. Middle. The secret of the fallen throne. She didn't deny it. Not after that. We sat in my apartment above the mechanic shop, city lights flickering through the cracked blinds. She hadn't spoken for 10 minutes. Finally, she said it. "I am Queen Mirathiel of the Air and Dominion." I laughed. Then I saw she wasn't joking. The Air and Dominion. One of the most powerful empires in the known galaxy before it collapsed. Their fleets once controlled hyperspace corridors. Their technology made human science look prehistoric. 3 years ago, their throne world burned. No survivors were ever confirmed.
Until now.
"They executed my council," she said quietly. "My generals betrayed me. My own fleet turned their cannons inward." "Why hide here?" I asked. She looked around my tiny apartment, exposed wiring, rusted heater, peeling walls. "Because no one would look for a queen here." She had fled during the coup, using experimental cloaking biotech woven into her own body. The armor I saw wasn't clothing. It was part of her. Living royal warplate. Her species had evolved alongside their technology. Queens were not figureheads. They were weapons. She had the power to level cities. But if she activated it fully, the Dominion's enemies would find her. And they were still hunting. "You could reclaim your throne," I said. Her eyes darkened. "If I return, millions will die." She had seen enough war. She was tired of being a symbol. She wanted something simple.
Peace.
For the first time in her life, she wanted to live as a person, not a crown. But peace never lasts. It happened on a Tuesday. The sky split open. 3 black obelisks tore through the atmosphere and hovered over New Houston like silent judges. I recognized the design from old military intel briefings. Dominion Execution Fleet. They had found her. The city erupted into panic. Military sirens wailed. News feeds screamed invasion. Mira stood frozen in my apartment. They traced my energy signature, she whispered. It's over. Outside, a beam of pure white energy lanced downward, carving a perfect circle through 10 city blocks. Not random destruction. A warning. They weren't here for humanity. They were here for their queen. You have to run, she told me. I grabbed my old service rifle from the closet. I'm not running. Her voice hardened. You cannot fight them. Maybe not, I said. But they'll have to go through me. For the first time since I met her, she looked at me not as a subject, but as a man. Climax. The queen revealed. The Dominion soldiers descended like falling stars. White gold armor. Energy lances humming. They surrounded our building in seconds. A voice echoed from above, amplified, cold. Your reign ended, Mirathiel. Surrender. Mira stepped forward.
No.
Her disguise dissolved. Light poured from her skin as the living armor unfolded across her body, radiant, intricate, beautiful, and terrifying. Wings of energy expanded from her back, stretching across the street like a halo of war. The air trembled. Every Dominion soldier froze. Because she wasn't just their queen. She was their creator's bloodline, their living sovereign. You betrayed the throne, she said, her voice no longer human soft but layered with something ancient. You betrayed your people. Weapons raised. Target locks ignited. I stepped beside her, completely outmatched, completely mortal. The commander laughed. And you hide behind a primitive? I met his gaze. She's not hiding. Before they could fire, I triggered the EMP charge I'd rigged from shop parts and old military scraps. It detonated in a blinding pulse. Their targeting systems flickered. Just long enough. Mira moved. She didn't destroy the city. She didn't unleash annihilation. She disarmed them. Precise. Surgical. Controlled. Every lance shattered midair. Every soldier immobilized in a field of light. She stood at the center, glowing like a newborn star. But she didn't kill them. Instead, she broadcast a signal across every Dominion frequency still active in the quadrant. I am alive, she declared, and I choose a new path. Ending. A crown rewritten. The fleet did not fire again. Because across the system, something unexpected happened. Dominion outposts responded. Ships turned. Not toward Earth. Toward her. Her survival changed everything. The coup leaders had claimed she was dead to justify their rule. With her alive, their authority fractured overnight. Civil war erupted. But not here. Far away. She could have left that night. Taken command. Reclaimed her empire. Instead, she stayed. Why? I asked her days later as the obelisks retreated beyond orbit. She looked out over New Houston. Chaotic, loud, flawed. Because I have ruled through fear, she said softly. Now I will rule through choice. She began transmitting from Earth, not as a conqueror, but as a reformer. Offering alliance instead of dominance. Unity instead of subjugation. And something incredible happened. The Dominion listened. It wasn't instant. It wasn't bloodless. But it changed. Months later, a single ship arrived, sleek, elegant, non-hostile. Her loyalists. They bowed when they saw her. Not because she demanded it. Because they wanted to. She turned to me before boarding. I once believed power meant standing alone, she said. You taught me otherwise. I didn't do much, I replied. She smiled. You stood beside me when you had every reason to run. She stepped closer. A queen. Still radiant. But human in her expression. I will return, she promised. Not as a fugitive. Not as a weapon. But as a bridge between worlds. The ship ascended into the stars. And for the first time in my life, I realized something. I hadn't just discovered her secret. I had changed her future. And maybe she had changed mine. Final ending line. That was the night I learned something no empire understood. A queen may hide among mortals, but sometimes it's the mortal who teaches her how to rule.